It's true. It's true. I know the rumors are getting out now. Rumors are getting out. I see it on Twitter. I see it on Kilamanikilikensha. Is Sankey can juggle. I can juggle. Look, right here. Little one ball juggling, just like this, huh? Look at that, one ball juggling, huh? Pretty impressive. Shit. How about some two ball juggling? Thank you very much for the two ball juggling. The trick is if I can do it with three, and I actually have three. There's one. There's number two. Here's number three. Watch, kind of cool. Actually, Chris, to make it really hard for me to do this, hold your hand for me, and I want you to hold my wrist. Hold my wrist just like that. Now watch. Thanks. Gonna make the first ball move from my hand all the way to the pocket. Here we go. Sorry. Number one. Let's try it again. Number two, from here all the way to my pocket. Go like that. That's number. Wait. Sorry. I think it got caught. Yeah. Sorry. It's kind of almost went all the way. That's number two. And number three. This time I think got it right, proving that I am, in fact, a juggling master. There's that expression, huh? Leap and the net will appear. And there's no question that in performance, there are many moments, I've had at least, that have been real moments of faith, real moments of faith, where you try something and you fall flat on your ass. Or you try something and it goes better than you ever thought it possibly could. And this is the kind of trick that's designed to open you up. Rather than have a card picked in a frame and a beginning and a middle and end, there's a bit of a looseness to this. I'll teach you to steal from the hand. I taught it, I think, last year on a coin trick. It's trickier with a white ball, gotta tell you that right now. I'm going to teach you that, retention vanish, you're one ahead at one point and all these things. But the idea is to go from your set area where you're going to do the card trick and demonstrate the thing or the coins you're going to travel to really be more among people, having them touch you, interacting, being a bit silly, that fake cough and this kind of thing. Now, where the balls appear, one or two of them, can be anything you want, from a spectator's ear. It could be from your back pocket, it could be from thin air, it could be from under someone's butt, whatever. And that's the way this trick is. It's undefined, it's open-ended, precisely to inspire you to do your thing. Yeah, let me just throw out one other idea here and we'll jump in. I get a lot of magicians emailing me and they ask me, where does confidence come from? And I'll let you in a little secret. Okay, and I've sort of talked with a lot of different kinds of artists and business people over the years, and one place confidence comes from, confidence is not being convinced you'll succeed. And this is very important. So many stand-up comics and business people I've talked to, they try something and their confidence isn't about, I'm convinced it's gonna work. No. Their confidence is that even if it doesn't work, I'll be fine. And that's key. Don't assume that confidence means that you're sure it's all gonna work out. What's great about you try enough things, we've all heard the cliche that the most successful people in the world typically have screwed up and bombed and crashed and burned more than you and I ever will. They try stuff. And they keep trying stuff, and they keep trying stuff. So of course, it's just a matter of time before they're very successful till they find something that works and they build on that. And the way you're able to keep trying stuff is not because you're convinced it's always gonna work, but because you realize, it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. It's okay to crash and burn. So keep that in mind with this kind of thing, that your confidence doesn't come from being certain it's gonna work out, but rather being certain you're gonna be fine even when you inevitably crash and burn. When I started this channel, one of the things I wanted to do was I wanted to make it not only one of the very best places to really learn the real work on how to be a magician, but I also wanted to be comprehensive, because you can go to some channels and lots of card tricks, and all they have is card tricks. I know so many of my fans want to learn about many different kinds of magic, because each kind has its own muscle, its own strength, and really helps you become well developed. So this is why I was excited to share this with you guys, because you can use 3 paper napkins, you can use 3 pieces of paper torn from literally a McDonald's takeout bag. They could be balls of aluminum. They could be so very flexible. The way I've structured this, but it's very loose, is all 3 end up in your start in your pocket. Okay, like this. And notice that right in front of people, you could ask them to tear off the pieces. Say, would you crumple that up on the wall? Crumple that on the wall. Watch, I'm gonna make all 3 of them vanish. Ta-da! Get a chunk, a laugh there, and you're all set to go now, right, with a silly laugh. And I always mention the idea of, I know you're probably not impressed with the magic, but what you don't know is I'm a world-class juggler. Oh yeah, I can juggle. and do a couple of these silly hack lines. Watch this, some 1-ball juggling. Here's some 2-ball juggling. Thank you, thank you. And of course, it works better if you're a guy at that point for that line. If you're not a guy, it raises a whole bunch of kind of interesting modern questions. You also need to have set up one of the balls, either a 4th ball or one of the 3 on the fly, under your left armpit, because it's actually under the arm the entire time. And being that far ahead, you know, you guys know me, I love being far ahead. It gives you that confidence and the cleanliness in the middle, that last phase, and it's the second one, when you remove it from your armpit, is so clean looking. The cleanliness of that moment sort of bleeds on to the other moments of the trick, raising the whole thing to that next level. That's what sort of happens in that. So how do you have that how do you have one of these under your arm? Well, first, of course, if you want people to make all the balls and make it, which is a great way to go, this, of course, you can have had a 4th one you made beforehand, and even before you headed into the trick with your friends or walked up to the table, this can be under your arm. You still have lots of movement. You can still do card trick, you can still do all this with it under your arm, which is really nice. Alternatively, what you could do, if you really want to keep it organic, when you pretend to put the 3 in your pocket, you can put 2 in your pocket, say, palm this one, and then when you say, you know, I'm a great juggler, and this notion of, no, really, I am a good juggler. You guys don't seem impressed. Well, I'm going to show you. I'm going to try. So some theatrical motivation to cross your arms, strike a pose for a bit. You're mad. You're loud. You're stepping back from someone saying, no, that's very funny, nicely done. Some justification for crossing your arms, and you can load it under your arm then too. And that's there for the rest of the trick. After doing some silliness with this, I take it and I pretend to put it in the hand. Okay, and I'm just using a very standard put. And this is of all, you know, and we are learning on this channel, hopefully, that confidence or attitude is key for this stuff. I don't have a whole lot of secret work on this. I just pretend to put it in the hand. Okay? You can take the thumb and you can momentarily keep it here. And even though you might think that will make it look weak, it's so brief. The thumb just touches and comes off. It's sort of what it allows you to do with the thumb, you'll be able to keep the fingers extended while apparently putting in the hand. Okay? So the thumb holds it for a beat, you come away, and then the thumb comes away. Or if you want to keep the thumb in view the whole time, you can just curl the fingers a little bit into a finger palm while apparently put it in the hand. But notice that they have their virtues. Personally, I prefer the thumb touch, just for a second, because it allows me to, it kind of looks like I'm placing it in the hand, all right? But it's a flow thing, okay? So it's really, and you can do it a more pronounced way up in here between, this is a variation on sort of the modern version of a French drop, more of a placement here, like this. Okay? But however you feel comfortable, you at one point, you finally pretend to put it in the hand. Now they saw you put 3 in this pocket, which is nice, because rather than you just saying, I've got 3 in my pocket and one by one taking them out, they saw them go in, so they already have a visual memory of 3. And that really helps it make it convincing. So the first one is a false put. Second thing I want to really point out here, particularly for younger students of magic, is obviously you don't want to close your fist like this, okay? You could. It is possible that this could be wedged in there. Notice that to close the fist around it naturally would be like that. But you know what I do? I actually puff the hand even further. I reach those fingers to the base and I really puff it, almost as if it's already holding all 3. And I find that really shouts, I have it in my hand. Notice you don't have to have the fingers totally there too. They can be slightly open because you're at one point. As long as you watch your angles, you really want it. You want the fist to shout, I'm holding something. So that's the first one. I go to my pocket, take out the same one again, put it on top of the hand, and now I'm getting ready to do I first learned on Al Schneider's pop-up move. Okay, but I don't think Al Schneider necessarily created the move, but he may have. He did it with coins originally. This is from, I think long before that, people were doing cups and balls, and I know there's balls and net is an old Stars of Magic thing as well. So you put it on top of the fist, and you take a moment to let it fall into the hand. You really want to give them a moment to see it fall into the hand. Because this last move you're going to do, it's crucial that they get comfortable with this vision of it falling. So that's apparently the second one going into the hand. Okay. Now, as I go for the third one, the fist doesn't stay here. It turns on its side. Okay. And as it turns on its side, it gives me the beat I want, which is for my left thumb to go underneath and push this up to the top. It's just the side of the thumb rolls it up. Okay. It's kind of a squeeze. Notice too that as opposed to the thumb going below and pushing up, If you want the first finger, the tip of the first finger can go sort of underneath it, and then as the thumb comes down, it gets squeezed to the top, okay? So the second one falls in. I go to my pocket. This naturally falls to my side, which covers the early action of pushing this up. And then I'm just timing, and you don't want to go from here straight line, okay? It might seem natural, but it's not going to give you the direction you want. You want to create the angle is in here. You want to go up and down on top. So it's more like this, okay? So you're not going straight to this and up, okay? You might think that covers your angles more, and it does, but it looks awkward. Instead, both hands are here, and together they move up, and I pretend to deposit it down on top, okay? That was the second one, and this is the third one. And take a moment. I remember years ago watching a magician do this. It was a great tip. It might have been Richard Sanders, who rather than trying to make it all perfectly elegant and like some sort of a clean engine, he deliberately kind of takes a moment to settle it on. And I think that really sells the idea too. So the entire sequence together here is number 1, number 2, and the last one on top, number 3. Boom, boom, boom. That flow is very important. You want 1, 2, 3. They're convinced you have 3 in your hand now. And while I'm holding it here, what I do is I push the last one back to, and this is usually it's a coin move, back to what's called the heel of the hand here, like this. And then I say, actually, to keep me honest or whatever, I want you to hold my hand, hold my wrist. And it's ideal to turn to someone to your far right. Straight ahead and left, of course, leave you more open for flashing when you do this deal. Whereas if you go to your right, then you've got fewer people. All these people are going to be deceived by the back of your hand, back of your wrist. And so as I gesture suiting actions, 2 words, I say, go ahead, are you right-handed or left-handed? Hold your right hand, I want you to hold on my wrist. And as I say, hold on my wrist, my hand comes over, and I'm secretly going to roll this along the bottom here as I'm here, and I hold the wrist, and I really want to keep my hand. When I come in here, this is my shield, right? So I want to keep it tight. So it'll take practice to get this smooth without looking like, go ahead, hold my wrist. You don't want any hesitation. Hesitation kills magic, okay? So you're here, hold on to my wrist here, turn, and you make sure the right hand, as you're leaning in, the right hand drops right to your side, and not like this, but you fudge it a bit, you cheat a bit by turning the back of the hand as it falls away to really minimize any flashing. So having just stolen this out and it's down by your side, you've got tons of options, okay? But what I like to try to do is there's always the question of building the trick, right? So I like the idea that they're gonna go from here back to where they started. I think that makes a lot of sense. This distance. So I say, here comes that, we're gonna see if the first one can go. And keep in mind, I've got 1 loaded under here, right? And I've got really only 2, and 1 in the hand and 1 in the pocket. So I'm already so far ahead. I've stolen this out. I say, here we go. First one's gonna go. And I say, watch carefully. And then I start coughing. And when I reach up and pull that out of my mouth, it always gets a really nice reaction. Very unlike most of the magic I do at that point. I've selected cards, read people's minds, and now I'm regurgitating stuff. Okay, so that's the first one. I start to hand that to someone and say, maybe not, maybe I'll leave that one there. First one. So watch the second one go. And the second one's gonna go, and it seems to be stuck. They see my hand is empty. My sleeves are up. When I go up into my armpit here and produce the second one, literally from, boom, like that, gets a great reaction, really sells the idea that these things, these suckers are traveling around through the air invisibly. But what was my claim? My claim was that I could make all 3 go from here to my pocket. So it only makes sense that the last one, boom, sleeves up, what a beautiful vanish, so far ahead. The last one actually does, this time, successfully vanish and reappear in my pocket. Some people say that magic is the sleights. Other people say that magic is what people think when they're watching you, that experience of wonder. And still other people say, you know what real magic is? Magic is the feeling. Magic is the feeling people feel. And this, all those ask the primary question, where do people live? Where do they live? Where do they really live in this moment? And these are the kinds of questions that on my new channel, my new Connect and Influence channel, I'm going to be exploring. I'm going to be looking at stuff like, what are the 3 things everybody wants to feel? There are 3 things that everybody always wants to be feeling. What are those 3? Or what's the difference between, staring at someone, seeing someone, and looking? What are the difference between those 3? And these are the kinds of things the sort of the interactive social things I'm going to be looking at on this new channel, that I don't care if you're a salesperson, if you're a magician, if you're an athlete, student, a teacher, father, son, mother, whatever you are. All these are very important moment-to-moment questions on how we interact with as humans. And of course, as magicians, all this stuff is going to totally empower you more when it comes to persuading people to believe. What are the conditions of belief? Why do people believe what they believe? I've been fascinated with these questions for many, many years, and I'm so excited to finally be able to share, I think, all this really exciting information with you guys coming very soon. So please, prescribe. That's right, pop this. It's a drug. So please, subscribe to this channel here, the Sankey Magic channel, and take a moment, move on over. I don't know if there's going to be a video. Any day now, we're going to be putting up the welcome video in the first couple of videos. I'm not sure if they're quite up yet. But go check out Connect and Influence. I'll put the link right down there, or over here, or up there. Maybe it's under here. I don't know. But definitely subscribe to that channel as well. I know you're going to really enjoy it.